Welcome back to In Good Company. Jeremiah and Judah. What's goody?
It's goody.
I kind of want you to read the DM that you got right when we got here. You got a DM and it's so funny.
Yeah. Trying to figure out how to preface this.
Just read it. You don't have to say who it's from.
Okay. Got a DM from this girl. We're friendly. And she was asking me where I work. And she was like, how's your work? She goes, where do you work? She goes, the Handsome Store. I'm like, that's like really clever. Like, that's
It
good.
is.
Like, I said, that's too good. Like,
It kind of reminds me what movie it was. It was like, where'd you get those? The pants store?
what movie is that?
Is that Anchorman?
Yeah, I think it's Anchorman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I love
But
that.
hey, she shot her shot.
She
like,
shot the shot. That's
I
funny.
respect it.
That's so hilarious. You probably get that a lot, the DM.
Not really. I'm not that active on Instagram.
But that almost makes it like more mysterious. I feel like,
Yeah, probably.
right?
I guess like it could for sure. I don't know. I feel like I enjoy just living my life.
Dating
I'm not
two
like
girls at once.
I'm not thinking I need to go post ever in my life.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes things will already happen. I'm like, damn, that'd have been a dope post. Especially like when I'm eating something that's really good, or I just made something that's really good. Sometimes I'll cook something, I'll eat it, and be like, damn, I can't even take a picture of it now because it's gone.
Because it's gone.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to get better at it though. I've been posting a lot of stuff on Instagram.
That
Me
pin,
cooking.
what was the one you made the other night?
Chili?
No, the one, the pasta.
Oh yeah,
What was that one?
it was like a Fresno chili, like
Any meat?
no man, it was
Huh.
almost like a olio type, but a little different. It had like anchovies in it as like the sauce. It like melted down in it. It was really good. I don't even like anchovies. It was delicious.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a thing that we were talking this weekend when we were hanging out, and it came to my attention. I got nervous. I was sweating bullets for a minute. I was freaking out. There's a Facebook group that it's right here. It's called "Are We Dating the Same Guy?" and it's private.
I've seen the
It's private.
inner workings of it because a friend of mine.
Guess how many members?
It's like 40, 50K, right?
50,000 members.
Oh boy.
And tell them what it is.
It's basically, from what I saw, it was a bunch of girls like, well, someone will post a photo of a guy. And then all these girls will be like, oh my God, I matched with him on Hinge or Tinder or Raya. I've been on a date with him. I've been on a date with him. Now they're all sharing stories about him. And some will be like, red flag, red flag, red flag. One of the girls on one of this posts of this guy was like saying, like, he's a quick pass.
What does that even mean, a quick pass?
Just like on to the next. Like,
Really?
don't even waste your time, girls. And then some are sharing stories like, oh, he's got a little dick, like blah, blah, blah. I was just like, oh boy.
Whoa, they're throwing that into there?
Oh yeah.
They're
dog.
throwing
It
sizes
gets
in
saucy.
there?
Bro, it is
Whoa.
getting saucy in there.
I feel like we would get in trouble if we did that. Like if we rated a girl, like, oh, she's a starfish, doesn't really move a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be a little bit different if guys did it.
Yeah, it'd be who are we paying for the same girl? Would be the name of the guy.
Are we paying
I took her to dinner on Tuesday. I took her to dinner on Wednesday.
Are we paying for the same girl? It's crazy, bro.
I bet you we could get 50,000 members on Are We Paying for the Same Girl?
I mean, are we dating the same girl?
Well, the girl, not even dating. Maybe our producer can attest. Girls will go on dates strictly for a free meal. No? I feel like that's a thing.
It happens.
Oh, I went to Funky on Tuesday. I went to Cabo on. It's like free.
What's the craziest week you've had? If you have it like 5-6 nights in a row of dinners, that shit adds up, man.
So fast.
Dude, you
Did
go
I-
like 2,
Have
3
I told the
dates a
story
week.
about the capo story? About you dragging me to dinner? This is funny. A girl that Jeremiah dated at one point, I thought her friend was pretty cute.
Yeah.
So we were like, we'll do like a little double date. And I was like, great, we should go to Capo, phenomenal restaurant in Santa Monica. And the girls are like, yeah, we're down. I'm like, yes. And we're on the way to dinner. It's all four of us in the car. And I'm like making small talk. I'm like, so like, how long have you lived in LA? And Capo's expensive. Just in,
Cabo is,
it's
Cabo
we
is
spent
like,
$1,200.
you know when you're on like Postmates and they have like $1 sign, $2, it's like all the way max $4 signs. Like,
yeah,
that's how expensive.
full.
Cabo's so expensive.
But I'm excited. It's about
Yeah.
to be a great dinner.
Yeah, it's gonna be
And
great.
we're on the way there. And I'm like, so like, how long have you lived in LA? And she goes, oh, I don't live here. I'm leaving tomorrow. And I remember being in that front seat with you. And I was like, you leave tomorrow? In my head, I was like, I looked at you and I was like, why are we not going to fucking McDonald's? We're going to an expensive dinner. I'm never going to see her again. And guess what? I have never seen her again. And sure enough, great dinner. We had fun. $1,200 later, never saw her again.
Yeah, we could have went somewhere else. That
We
was
could
on
have
me.
gone
That was
anywhere.
on me.
We could have gone to R&D Kitchen, had a great time. We could have gone
Yeah, we could have dropped half of that.
Half.
Even
half,
it was a good $1,200 dinner.
but it was good.
It was
It
good.
was a good dinner. But I'll tell you what, instant sour. When
That
she was
wasn't
like,
that
I'm
wasn't the
not-
dinner you did push-ups on the floor, did you?
No, that was at Capo though. But that
That was at Capo. You started doing push-ups. Why'd you do push-ups?
So this is a great game. It's you bet anytime push-ups. So I lost a bet to our buddy, and basically they can give you push-ups anytime.
Yeah.
So I lost 50, and we're at the middle. We're in the middle of
middle
this
of dinner,
nice
you just
dinner.
start breaking out and doing
and,
push-ups.
and he goes, "Hey man, I'm gonna need 10 of those right now." And so once the 50's gone, he can't tell me to do them anymore. But he was like, "I'm gonna need 10. I'm gonna need 10 of those."
There's people at our table
So
that
I
got so upset. He's doing push-ups in the middle of it.
Yeah, I literally got up and did them. Hey, I'm a man of my word. If someone tells me to do them right there at a wedding, whatever, I'll drop down. I'm giving you the 10. But yeah, we dropped them off and that was it.
It was over. It was like, thanks for the dinner. I'll never see you again. And you've never seen her again.
Never seen her again.
Yeah.
That was a 1-star.
Yeah.
It's a 1-star review.
It happens. It happens. But yeah, those dates add up, man.
Yo, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week's 5 stars. What are you doing? Where are you going?
Yeah.
We got a product. We got a place. What do we got?
My 5-star this week is probably my favorite boutique clothing store in LA to shop at. It's called Departamento. They have the most.
Fuego.
They have Fuego. It's just everything in there hits.
It's like no other store I've been to.
It's really like no other store. It's very eclectic. They have brands you've never heard of, from Japanese designers to like up and coming like African American, Black designers. And then they have your staples, at least in your higher end kind of couture brands. But it's really cool because the only way to get there is through Maru, which is a coffee shop. And it's like a little opening. They don't
advertise for it.
They don't advertise for it. There's no sign.
You feel like you're going into a bathroom and then it's like, oh, these cool mirrors.
Yeah, there's no sign on the inside. There's a little sign on the outside that says Departamento, but when you walk in, it's just a coffee shop.
Yeah,
So
you
you're a
kind of
little-
like you have to be in the know.
Yeah, you're a little confused. So every time we've been in there, no one's in there because like I don't know how to say open, but
Well, they're the price,
clothes are expensive. Yeah,
the
clothes
price
are
point.
expensive,
but they are like incredible. Cashmere, like
yeah,
scooped, like so rad.
such a cool store.
5
That's my 5-star of the week. I think
Yeah.
more people need to know about it. More people need to go in there and shop. I'm seeing just too much garbage on the street. People walking by me.
It really is. It's like it's really nice stuff, but it's stuff just outside. It like it's own style in itself.
yeah. Most of the stuff in there you're not going to see anywhere else. So that's my 5-star. What's your 5-star of the week?
5-star of the week review. Mine for sure is my Harley Davidson. I went for a ride on Saturday for the first time in a while and was just ripping it. And I forgot how much I love riding my Harley.
Yeah.
And it's so different than riding any other motorcycle. Like a lot of my friends ride the BMW GSs, like adventure bikes. And those are cool. But when you hop on a Harley and there's that rumble and there's that blah, blah, blah. And especially if you have like a powerful one. I have like a Street Bob. It's like 1800 cc's. And you're just ripping it down the highway, open road. Could be the best feeling on the planet.
I wish I could tuck you off of that fucking thing.
Not a chance. Never. My 5-star review for life, Harley Davidson. They're incredible.
It's beautiful. You have a beautiful bike though. You have
they're-
a sick bike.
They're so fun, dude.
I give your bike a 5-star. You
don't- not
driving
me, right?
it drives me crazy.
I love it. It's
No,
my
I respect
5-star.
it.
It's so fun. You know what it is? Someone said it one time, and I totally agree with it. 4 wheels move the body, 2 wheels move the soul. And you could be so stressed, you could be overthinking all these things, and then you hop on your motorcycle and you go for a ride, and you got your knees in the breeze, and you're just you can't have anxiety.
Did you see that on a bumper sticker? That's a bumper sticker. Like
The knees in the breeze, yes.
4 wheels on the
But how?
2 on the
Okay, but why would someone have a bumper sticker on their car
on a
about?
Harley.
But they're fun, and you can vicariously live through me. What's the movie of the week?
My movie of the week is a Tarantino film, probably his most slept on film, arguably like his most slept on film.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I would say yes.
Hateful Eight.
So good.
So good. The dialogue is so sharp. There's a lot of unforeseen plot twists and
Oh, it's a perfect script.
that go on.
The chapters.
The different chapters. It's such a clever movie, and it basically all takes place in a cabin,
One location.
one location.
It's so good. Sheriff of Red Rock.
Sheriff of Red Rock.
It's so good. Definitely see that. It's one of my
Yeah,
favorite.
it's
It's
so
funny.
good.
People say it's like not one of his best movies. It's like top 3 for me or top 4.
Definitely in my top 5 Tarantino.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
What is your song of the week?
I've been jamming when I was on my motorcycle ride the other day. I was listening to "Paint It Black" by the Rolling Stones. I think it's because our Harley's black. I have a black vest, black jacket, and this is just one of those songs you can put on, and it's just great. It's old school.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones. What year was this? Let's see. View
The
album.
energy of that just feels old.
Just great. This is 66.
Whoa.
Yeah. Aftermath album. So good. Yep. Song of the week. Paint It Black, Rolling Stones. So good.
I love it.
I
Add it
absolutely
to
love
the
it.
playlist.
Okay, so back to Tarantino and film stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting right now, like the temperature of Hollywood and things you can get away with. And one of the reasons I love Tarantino, because there was like a woke kind of movement in the 80s.
I mean, things you can't get away with now?
You can't get away with now,
No, you
which
can't get
happened
away
in
with
the
shit
80s
now.
apparently. Like everything was very politically correct.
Yeah.
And then Tarantino came around and made Reservoir Dogs. And people like lined up down the street to boycott his stuff because he used profanity and killed people. Like he broke kind of the mold of what was allowed in Hollywood.
No way.
Which I thought, yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
I
whole,
didn't even know that.
Oh, there's a documentary about it. When he came out, people hated him. Think about Kill Bill and like the violence in his movies.
Depending on the climate and temperature of what's going on politically or socially, especially violence for sure. Like, you know, sex and violence are the 2 things that get attacked the most in films. But now it's like comedies getting attacked so crazy. Like,
Everything's being attacked, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, there's movies that were made. I think the golden era for comedy was, at least for me, was what 2000 to 2010 is kind of when it came to an end.
It kind of did stop. Like there hasn't been a lot of really great comedies since This Is the End.
I think This Is the End was the last really funny movie in the movie theater where I was like crying, laughing. Yep. You know, it's raunchy. The jokes were, you know, so good, so sharp.
Why aren't there those anymore though? Like, dude, there's so many in that era. You had Old School, you had Step Brothers, you had Talladega Nights, like Superbad,
Step Brothers,
like a laundry list of
Wedding
great ones.
Crashers.
Wedding Crashers.
I mean,
that's my favorite rom. That's like it's a rom com, right?
Wedding Crashers.
Yeah,
absolutely rom com.
Probably my favorite one.
Yeah. It's probably the funniest of the rom coms, but it's a rom com.
But like all of them, absolutely incredible. Even The Intern, which is like not one of their best, still funny.
I was more in love with Rachel McAdams in Wedding Crashers than I was with her in
The Notebook.
The Notebook, and I love The Notebook. Like that's one of my favorite rom com, or more of a drama, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a romantic movie. Yeah,
one of my favorite romantic movies ever. But and I loved her role and all that. But there's something about her in Wedding Crashers. They paint her in a way it's like
she's so great.
She's so captivating.
She's
like,
so
yeah.
When you tells her to go from the heart.
The heartstrings.
We all know their favorite colors are green, like Greg's eyes, and money.
And money.
And it's just the crickets.
She's like failing miserably.
It's so bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, I read while I was sailing my boat to Bermuda. Sailor, good man.
What does he say? What does Todd say to the ocean when he's like?
Yeah, he goes, "Death, you are my bitch lover." and then his dad goes, "Todd, you thought I mean ocean." That is one of my favorite scenes.
Oh man.
The gift was a paint. The painting was a gift. I'm taking it with me.
Oh man.
But they're not like that anymore. There's not those, and maybe that is the temperature of Hollywood. You can't get away with saying some of the same stuff. Right? I don't know. I mean,
you couldn't make Tropic Thunder today, could you?
I saw an interview with Robert Downey, and he was like, "No chance could I do blackface."
They did it in such a clever way that Robert Downey they were making fun of people who play blackface by doing
Inception.
blackface. It was such a clever way of like working around any real pushback against it, and then also he killed it. Like
he was so. What do you mean, you people? That's my favorite.
Yeah, when they're walking through the forest, and I don't know how he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna call up some greens, y'all." And was it Al Pacino? What was his name?
Who? You got Jack Black. You got
the kid. No, the black actor who was playing. I'm Al Pacino. What was his name in Tropic Thunder?
You want me to look it up?
Yeah, look it up. I thought his name was Al Pacino.
Like his character name or the actor's name?
No, the character's name. Like what character did he play in Tropic Thunder? I thought it was Al Pacino.
Alpa Chino.
It was Al Pacino.
Alpa though. Like
Yeah.
not Al Pacino.
Alpa.
ALPA Chino.
That's hilarious. The fact they gave his name Al Pacino, that movie is crazy. He's like, "I love the booty." Oh man, that movie's too
That's
good.
such a classic.
But yeah, I feel like movies now, everything is so censored, and if you say anything wrong, like, when Robert Downey's like, you never go full retard, bro.
You can't even say that word anymore. You'll probably get in trouble for saying that.
Man, whatever, man.
It's true,
I'm just
though. It's
quoting the movie, bro. People want to hate, they can hate. It's one of the funniest lines in the whole
It
movie.
is so hilarious. I completely agree with that. So there's different genres, and all of them have their best era.
Yeah.
What's the best era for comedy? 2000s, 2010?
I feel like we can only speak to
Your experience.
our experience, how old we are. Like, I'm sure comedy in the 70s and 80s would be a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
But
Kings of Comedy.
I can't speak to that. Animal House, like Dazed and Confused, like a lot. I missed a lot of that. Even though
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Tommy Boy.
Even Tommy
Right.
Boy, like I love Tommy Boy and Black Sheep, but I wasn't really old enough to understand. I have a real pulse on what comedy was like throughout
That
the
era.
different stages of the '80s, different stages of the '90s. I kind of missed most of that, even though I've seen all those movies.
What's like your favorite one if you could pick?
If I could pick one of them, oh man,
Like mine would probably be Superbad. Every time I watch Superbad, I absolutely or Wedding Crashers.
yeah,
One of those two.
I think from my barometer is how many times I've seen it.
The watchability.
The watchability of it. So I've seen Wedding Crashers more than I can count, and it's definitely got to be my number one. And I think close to it would definitely be like Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I've seen a lot.
We ran into him today.
We did run into
We
Jason
ran into
Segel today.
Jason Segel today.
We did. Judith, I'm surprised you didn't say anything to him because it is your personality
The
just to go up
only
to him.
thing I would have said was, I want to have you on my podcast. That's the only thing I would have said. I'm a big fan guy. I've never said that to anyone because they're just people. They're just like humans.
I'm kind of like, I'll quote a movie line and see if you respond positively to it.
I take it back. There is one actor that I've ever gone up to and said, I loved you in this. And it was the French guy from Intouchables. That French movie where the African-American guy takes care of the paralyzed white guy. And I saw him at Nobu years ago. And the movie is not a huge movie. And I was like, hey man, I really loved you in Intouchables. He was like, really? He's like, thank you so much. And gave me a hug. Because he doesn't get that a lot.
That's
It's
a
not
good
big
approach.
movie.
Like even like for someone who is well known and accomplished as Jason Segel, that's probably a good lead in. Is to be like, yo, man, I really like you. Were great in maybe even a movie that
Lesser
didn't
known.
get tons of acclaim or lesser known.
Yeah.
Didn't blow up at the box office. That'd be a good way to lead in.
Yeah, rather than just, did they get so many people that come up to them? But I would have said, I want you on our podcast.
I'm shocked he didn't. I was like, Drew's definitely
I
going
should've.
for it.
I should have.
We probably should have just stopped him and said something. That's not my personality, but you're a natural.
You're just a dude. You're just a guy.
yeah, you're just a natural.
You're just a person. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, Forgetting Sarah Marshall is so funny. I watched that with a friend of mine who just went through a breakup, and we were watching it together. And he was like, "God, everything does remind me of the cereal box. Now we have the freshest cereal.
Oh, that's the worst, man. Like
Everything, you
when
know.
everything reminds you of your ex or a girl you dated. Oh my gosh.
It's like you're not even doing a proper delete.
You gotta
It's
do
like,
a-
well, maybe I still want some of them.
Yeah, you
got
gotta
to
do a proper delete,
proper delete.
proper cleansing, man.
You know that he wrote that from a breakup. He
That's
was
smart.
that's like that whole movie. He was dating a famous actress. She broke up with him, and then he was like, "I need to write this."
Are there any sleepers in that era?
Tons of sleepers.
I know
in that
we've
era.
talked about it, but like,
Dude, Meet the Fockers.
oh man,
Are you
Meet the
kidding me? me?
Parents,
What?
Along Came Polly,
Along Came Polly is scuba
Scuba.
party. Isn't that happy?
Hey, Ruben,
Say, Ruben, you are not the hippo. What does he say?
are you down for scuba?
You what do you say? You are a happy hippo.
You pro- And he's
Philip
happy,
Seymour
like
Hoffman
the
in that?
hippo. Oh man,
When he's got the grease on the pizza, he's like, "It's the best part."
I just figured out how to guard
Make
this
it
guy.
right.
I just figured out how to guard this guy.
Yeah, I just figured out in the sweat.
That's the first time I ever heard the word sharded. He's like, what the fuck is sharded? He goes, I tried to fart and a little shit came out. He goes, we have to go now.
Yeah, they're at the event. He goes, "Listen, dude, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to bring it up. We gotta get in here. I just shirted."
Yo, man, I do miss a good, like, funny movie. And I've watched a few that have been supposed to be funny. I know we've kind of already mentioned before how bad No Hard Feelings was as a comedy,
So bad.
but that was just god awful. I can't even tell you last time I've been to a movie theater to see a comedy.
Other guys?
No.
Wait, what?
No.
You didn't like the other guys?
No, it's silly. I get the demographic and the target audience, but it's just, for me, it's silly. I just thought it was mostly dumb. You know,
It's like it's like Will Ferrell being like top, like trying.
too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
because
like top
overcompensating probably for a bad script whatever the case, it's just not it, man.
Okay, so what's a best era for? I mean, I feel like I don't even have to ask for like dramas. It has to be like that Scorsese era of Casino, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull. Like that was the best era for like like New York drama.
Like mid 80s, late 80s, early
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah, like late 80s, even 70s, because Taxi Driver was 70s. Like 70s into the 80s. Dude, that was like Kurt Russell, Daniel Day-Lewis, De Niro, Pacino. Like, how do you beat
Like
that with
Legends of
dramas?
the Hidden Fall.
Yeah, Legends of the Fall.
Was it?
Legends of the Fall.
Why go? I went Nickelodeon,
You
bro.
read Legends of the Hidden Temple on us? Legends of the Hidden Fall.
Legends of the Hidden Fall was crazy. Yo.
Dude, The Godfather, Casino, Taxi Driver. Honestly, it's the era. Spielberg, E.T.
Yeah.
How do you beat that era? Is it all those friends? It was Coppola. It was Brian De Palma with Scarface.
Yeah.
Like all those, George Lucas with
George
Star Wars.
Lucas.
How do you beat that era?
Yeah, it's tough.
How could you beat it?
It's tough. I mean, even like you still had like Kubrick doing movies.
Yeah,
I
what?
mean,
That's like the 70s, 80s. I don't know how you could beat that era.
it's tough. I mean, there's some good dramas now. I've seen some really good ones.
Yeah, there are.
I mean,
But is it like that? What's crazy is the good dramas now are still with those actors that were just budding and just like exploding on the scene, creating some of the best
you
movies
see
ever.
Phantom Menace?
A long time ago
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Phantom Thread.
with Daniel Day.
Yeah, that's
Phenomenal.
some good
But
drama.
also that's Daniel
Slept
Day.
on.
Early Daniel Day, also incredible.
Yeah.
My Left Foot. I guess There Will Be Blood is recent, right? That's like 2007 with
Yeah, there would be
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, there's some.
There's some good ones.
I don't know. Is there a golden era for dramas? I definitely feel like for comedy, there's like maybe just a because it's so contingent on the talent.
It is.
Comedies are so contingent on the talent. Like a drama, it just has to be written well. I feel like anybody could pretty much act it out and it'll mostly do well. Am I wrong in thinking that
No,
way?
that's not 100%
You know what I
true.
mean? Like nobody really knew who Rachel McAdams was. Nobody really knew who Ryan Gosling was for real.
But it always doesn't translate. Like, for instance,
Until they did Notebook.
Love Kevin Hart doesn't translate to movies. I can't think of a Kevin Hart movie that I love. Doesn't translate.
Yeah, there are supporting roles.
Like, the only thing I can think of him that I really liked was Soul Plane.
No, I mean, still playing shit, but it is. I mean, it's shit.
Yeah.
I got a perfect one. Steve Carell in
Crazy Stupid Love
Nope,
with the small role, 40-Year-Old Virgin.
40-Year-Old Virgin. He's
Yeah.
got a small supporting role, and he's good in it.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's a really small role.
It's a great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he is the Virgin in 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Who's Steve Carell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great. That is a great movie. But I mean, like the stand up to comedy thing.
I think Kevin Hart is like a lead. Has there been like any great movies that he's done? I can't think of any. Not off the top of my head. It's not like Eddie
Great
Murphy.
stand-up.
Eddie Murphy, I know exactly
Yeah.
what his great movies are.
Dude, Coming to America.
Coming to America,
Doolittle.
dude. Beverly Hills Cop, Nutty Professor.
So good.
I mean,
Just the best. Okay, so speaking from your experience, my experience, if I had to pick like an era for it, for me, probably 90s, because you got Last of the Mohegans, you have Braveheart.
for drama,
Yeah, Shawshank was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, probably 90s for me. Just for me, like where I was at in my life. Like, I remember just loving every movie I saw that era. Titanic was that 99? Yeah, Titanic was in there.
what about thriller horror?
That's like, you go back to Hitchcock era.
I'd say now.
That's true.
I think it's the most you can do.
Parasite and Prisoners,
Get Out.
Get Out.
I think
Yeah.
it's the most innovative you can ever be with thriller horror is now. I think the best horror movies are coming out now.
That's true. There are a lot of
Yeah.
really good ones right now.
And it's also like thriller and horror has been like a climbing genre for the last 40 years. Like think about it. Who's making like horror movies for real in the 70s? Like it was like the
Texas
Leprechaun in the
Chainsaw.
90s. Like a
Yeah.
lot of it was like cheap, thrilly.
You really
know.
only had the Halloweens.
You had the Halloweens, you had
The-
Freddy Krueger's,
Freddy
which are
Krueger.
all classics. You had Texas
Yeah.
Chainsaw. So I guess a lot of classics have been birthed out
But
of
those
that.
are like horror,
yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
thriller aspect, I feel like you're right, is so popular right now.
Thriller's good.
And there's some good ones.
Yeah.
Speaking of horror movies, Jeremiah worked on Saw.
I did.
And we went to the
Saw
premiere.
10.
Saw 10. And we went to the premiere of Don't just
Yeah.
go for it.
I hate horror movies. I can't watch them. Like
Sorry, Mark.
yeah, listen, I can't watch them, but I love movies, and so I had to watch this movie over and over and over again in the editing room, in the film room with the director. and kind of to help, how would you say,
Edit, structure,
it, maybe
pacing,
add, subtract scenes. And so I've watched it over and over again. And I think I had a heightened awareness because I could not watch I still to this day have not seen any of the horror scenes in Saw. I would just, because I can't.
And you've seen it 20 times.
I've seen it 20 times and I can't add any value. So for me, every other part of the movie, my focus was heightened. Because like I had to really lock in and figure out, oh, is this good? Does this work? Does it not work? So when we went to the premiere, Judah would look at me and I would just start going like this.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was coming.
If Jeremiah, because it was your premiere ticket.
Yeah.
So you'd put your premiere ticket over
I just
your
put my
eyes.
premiere
And
ticket
I'd
right
see it
here.
and I'd be like, okay, I don't want to see this either.
No.
And I would even.
But
and
you
that's
can hear it,
the
man.
noise, the sounds of those movies are.
Hey, listen, the movie's been out for like 2 months now, so it's not any spoilers, but there's a scene when she cuts off her leg. And I've still never seen it. I just know that she cuts off her leg. And then she uses like this suction thing to suck the bone marrow. Like, and you can just hear it. Oh my gosh.
But no, those movies are so gnarly.
They're intense.
I had a hard time watching that. Or
They're
hearing it. That was gnarly.
Yeah, but it was an awesome experience.
It's still an art form.
Yeah, no.
Like that with it, even though
Saw is one of the most
gnarly.
classic horror franchises ever. It's such a blessing to be in that position to help contribute to that film in any way.
One of your first credits was like
first credit.
Big ass movie.
Saw 10. Pretty sick.
Pretty
No,
crazy.
definitely a blessing, no question.
What was the first movie, if you can remember, that you went on a date to?
Like a proper date?
Or just like the first movie you ever went to? Do you remember your first like theater experience? Because that's one thing I'm glad is making a comeback is like going to theaters.
Home Alone.
It was your first movie in theaters?
Home Alone was my first movie in theaters. Yeah, this is a crazy story. I got a good story for this. Home Alone was my first movie I ever seen in theaters. My mom and dad were like, Jeremiah, whatever you see in this movie, you cannot come home and do anything. I remember literally crossing my fingers behind my back. Like I was being silly, like, okay, Mom. Dude, I came back and I fucked the house up. I broke glass and I put it I like everything they did in the movie, you know, they were the wet bandits. So I went upstairs and started clogging all the sinks. I flooded the house.
You actually did?
I flooded the house, man.
The wet bandits?
I was the wet bandit. I was this fucking 6-year-old menace, 7-year-old menace running them around the crib, stuffing the sinks with paper towels and leaving all the faucets on. I started flooding the house. I broke glass. I like sprinkled it all over the floor for like an imaginary burglar in case he came in. Oh, bro, I got spanked so crazy, dude. I got so much trouble.
You can hear your dad coming up the stairs. Jeremiah! Just on the glass.
Oh, man.
Well, you actually did that.
I did that, dude.
And it's so funny that your parents had the wherewithal before to be like, you can't do anything that you see in this movie.
I didn't go to another movie in the movie theater for years. My second movie ever was an R-rated movie, was Mortal Kombat.
That was probably fun, though.
I was so excited. It was my favorite video game. Mortal Kombat came out. Oh man, I saw it like 4 times in the movie theaters.
I think my first experience going to theaters, I remember because I grew up in like a pretty religious household. My sister, Alaska, snuck us out to go see the first Harry Potter.
Ooh.
And I remember sitting in the theater with her. And it was so sick because she was older, and you know how like when you're you look up to him so much, she's like, whoa, she wants to hang out with me. And she took us to Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone. Changed my life. It was so rad.
And we talked about this off camera. I mean, in schools, Harry Potter was like a big subject of like.
Oh yeah, it was witchcraft technically.
Pushback, right? They got
witchcraft.
So much.
Couldn't read it in school.
Even our producer said she wasn't allowed to.
Yeah,
to
dude,
read it.
My mom
couldn't.
burned because my sisters were 17, 18 years old. They would just go buy their own, and my mom burnt all of them. They burnt the Harry Potter books because of witchcraft.
What is witchcraft though? Does that mean like it's like devilish or something? Is that what it means?
It's a children's book. Like
I love Harry Potter.
They're incredible. It changed my life. Going to the theater and like the Warner Brothers thing coming out. Dun, dun, I literally was like,
have you been to the theme parks in Orlando?
Never been.
The Harry Potter. People think Harry Potter goes hard out here. Bro, they have a train from Islands of Adventure, which is Universal Islands of Adventure. They have a full-on Hogwarts train that goes from there. It's a real train. You get on, and it takes you to a whole nother park.
Hogmeade and all of those.
It's like a 10-minute train ride. And while you're in your little cabin booth, they like play this Harry Potter like scene as if it's really cool.
I want that.
Orlando goes crazy
Anything
with
from
the
Trolley
parks.
days, just the Drew Booze.
Have you had butterbeer yet?
I've had it here in California.
You've had it in your Quebec?
Yeah. But yeah, like the sickest experience of seeing Harry Potter. My funniest experience seeing a movie is my my mom will probably laugh at this. She went and saw Titanic like 8 times. And my mom is similar to me. She brings a bottle of wine, she brings a blanket, and she gets cozy. This is like before recliners.
She sneaks in the theater?
Sneak? My mom, no.
It's like Mary
My mom
Poppins
would
in the
carry
purse.
this. My mom would just fucking carry this thing. And so she'd bring a bottle of wine because my sisters would go with her too.
Gangster.
My mom can do whatever she wants. Like my
Mom's like Capone. Just
no
like,
one's telling my mom shit. Really. So my mom would go in with a bottle of wine and a blanket and like for coziness, which I can appreciate. More movie theaters should have blankets. Maybe that'd be kind of gross.
iPick does, and things are dusty. I got invited just recently to go to iPick for like a date, and I was like, "Are you sure?" It's like a little like dated in there. Like them blankets, I don't want a skin rash or anything. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, how
with
often
them
do they
blankets.
wash those?
Mm-mm.
But they should allow you to bring your own. And my mom did, and we're watching Titanic, and I'll never forget watching it. It's great, and my mom just throws the blanket over my head. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, you can't take it off your head. So I'm peeking through the things. So I have like this little shot. I'm like, wait.
Was that your first boob?
I'm like,
you ever
that's a
seen?
boob. That's a boob.
I remember the boob scene. It was such a big deal.
I was
back
like,
then.
whoa. And I think the glimpse I caught was like her on paper. It was like the drawing of her boob. And I still was like, oh my God. Okay.
Remember how big of a deal that was? Like that like miniature little micro nude scene they had in Titanic was like all the rage.
Yeah.
And now it's like full on.
Yeah. No,
Jennifer Lawrence running through the.
Yeah. That was
like on the Pacific Ocean beach, like butt ass naked.
Do you think that was actually her? Or do you think that was somebody
Jennifer
else?
Lawrence
in No Hard Feelings. Do you think that was actually her?
I don't know. I maybe my naked eye just can't tell between CGI.
Would it be like a stand-in with her face or something?
Well, like AI her face on it or something?
Yeah.
Or what?
Like just
CGI her face on it?
Yeah.
It's possible.
Part of me thinks that was her. A lot of actors don't really care. Like Scarlett Johansson doesn't care.
No, some don't care. Imagine that scene back in like 96. It would have been like striptease. It would have been like rated NC-17.
Very bad. It would have been terrible.
Yeah. Wait, you got to talk about how you snuck in a $200 order of Javier's in the movie theater.
Oh my God.
What you said to get in.
Oh my God. Yeah. What? I don't even remember.
Yeah. You said you had diabetes.
Yeah, so we went to dinner. I went to Javier's, and it was taking a while. It was busy. It was Friday night, but we were seeing a movie after, and we ordered I don't know a couple $100 worth of.
We did. We
had enchiladas. We had tacos. We had the side of the fontina cheese thing.
Queso fundido.
Queso fundido. We had everything.
Dude, the bag was huge.
it was the big ass square one.
Yeah, it was
rectangle.
like the supersized me.
Supersized bag
of like takeout bags.
It really was.
It was crazy.
So we're late for the movie, and I'm like, whatever, just put it to go. We're gonna take it.
She's like, I'll figure this out.
I'm like, get it to go. Bro. Jeremiah, you're not like a sneak it in guy.
I'm not a sneak it in guy. I'll sneak in like a,
candy
safe.
Yeah.
In like a pocket.
But I remember because I was like, I'm bringing it in. You're like, you're on your own. You're like, you're crazy, man. And you're like, you're on your own. And I remember you went into the theater before me. Like you did not want to get caught. And I get to the front of the line. The guy's like, you can't bring in any food. And I'm like, dude, I'm diabetic. You do not want anything happening there.
Yeah, you're like, I got low
blood sugar. You do not want anything.
And he's like, wow, all right, man, can you just like put your jacket over it, bro? So Judah like throws his jacket over this bag that was like,
it's huge.
It was like 5 feet by 5 feet. The bag was so damn big.
But all I remember is getting to the seats. Hallelujah, we had the recliners. I remember reclining the seat next to me. And I just start like
no, the poor people behind us just hear a crunch.
But the smell. It smelled like a Mexican restaurant in the theater. It was
that shit was crazy.
We had everything. We had queso, we had steak, we had all of this stuff. I cannot imagine what it smelled
bro,
like.
I'm like looking at you like, yo, pass the guac, bro. Like
and the chip crunch.
The chip crunch, the salt. We were having a time.
I went to a movie recently. What was I seeing? Oppenheimer. I snuck a Chipotle burrito into Oppenheimer. The movie is so quiet at times, and I'm trying to peel the tinfoil.
Oppenheimer's quiet?
Yeah. Like, at least when I was trying to eat
I guess there's scenes, yeah.
I was like, wait, I'm seeing a 1 o'clock movie. I'm going to get hungry at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I sneak a Chipotle burrito into the movie. And right when I'm trying to order, silence. For like, it was 20 minutes of quiet. And I was trying to peel the tinfoil, and people were looking at me, and I was like, I can't.
I love it.
And then I was like, is it going to smell bad? So I literally walked to the exit and ate my burrito standing there watching the movie, and then went back to my seat.
Have you seen did you like it?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's really good.
I don't know how he made a movie about that subject so enticing and paced well and engaging and
gross of Billy.
It was so good.
I hope they give him the keys to James Bond. I heard they're in conversations for 2 films for him.
Who's the Bond though?
I don't even care, man. Just make it a dope actor. I don't care. Like it's all this like
Timothy Chalamet.
James Bond can't be a black dude. James Bond can be whatever fucking color he wants to be.
He just can't be a girl.
Can't be a girl. You could do a 008.
006, female one. That'd be sick. Yeah, can't be a girl, but 006 would be sick.
James Bond like has to like.
His name is James Bond, not Jane. Jane Bond, 006.
006 it and make a whole separate movie, but like don't.
Yeah,
it's like a, you know what I mean?
He's a dude.
He's a dude, man.
It's James.
Are we tripping? Maybe we're tripping.
Well, no, that's also going back to the temperature of the industry. It's okay for that to be that. If you want to create a separate one, do that. But don't take something that's, dude, there are 40 James Bond movies. You're not going to take something, it's one of the biggest franchises ever. You're not going to go and make that a girl.
And maybe that's what like bugged me about Ocean's
8.
8. They only did it because the other 3 movies, it was mostly a male cast. And so like they felt like they needed, I don't know, reparations. And I'm just like, why don't you just make a dope espionage movie or you can make your own heist movie? I just like...
Without using the oceans part.
Yeah, even, I don't know. It just felt like it was born out of political correctness. You know what I mean?
Well, they did that same thing with Ghostbusters. They did the all-female Ghostbusters. Just make a different movie.
Right, Hangover, right? They didn't call it Hangover, whatever. Bridesmaids came out. And it's amazing.
It's great.
It's one of the, it's actually, I would argue it's probably my top 15, top 20 comedies. It's so good.
Please help me, I'm poor.
But it was its own thing, and it was beautiful, and it was great. I guess that's what I'm looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do something original.
Something original.
Yeah. A movie where I really like is Kill Bill.
True, yes,
she's
that's true.
Sick in that.
That's true.
And what's the actress? Lucy Liu.
What a cool name.
Yeah, Lucy Liu is
so
great.
Cool.
Both of them, their fight scenes were epic.
That's true.
Those were sick.
Why does Kill Bill work for us?
Kill Bill was rad. The fight scene where they're spinning in the air and they're fighting in like the entryway of whatever that building is, and then it goes outside and she cuts her head off in the snow. Such a sick scene.
That's actually like a good question I want to answer myself. Like, why does Kill Bill work?
Filmmaking.
Might be filmmaking.
Filmmaking.
Maybe it's just less about
Tarantino, bro.
Maybe you know what it is? It's actually less about who's playing it, maybe, and more about who's filming it, right?
Like think about Daisy Domerdew. Great character.
Yeah, great badass.
And she's
character.
a badass character.
She's a badass character in Hateful Eight. She's awesome.
I think that's what it takes. It's new filmmakers that can have a fresh perspective on it that are good filmmakers.
Yeah.
Like I was watching with this writer who's a big writer, the preview for Wonder Woman. He goes, "Oh fuck." He's read the script, and it's like you're making a $200 million movie with a bad script. If it's not on the page, it's not on the screen. It's not going to be a good movie.
Well, I know people who are hating on. Oh, this just happened with the Furiosa trailer. The Mad Max Furiosa trailer just dropped, and the lead is Anna Taylor-Joy. And it looks so good. But people are hating on it because they're like, oh my God, like they just had to make Mad Max Furiosa because they had Mad Max with Tom Hardy. And I'm like, actually, no, that is part of the storyline.
Yeah, George Miller had that in the pipeline the whole time.
It's been in the pipeline. And so I think that response is that same response to like maybe how I was framing Ocean's 8. Like, oh, you did all these 3 Oceans and now you're doing Ocean's 8. Like, oh, you've done Ghostbusters and now you're doing Ghostbusters 2.0 with a whole, women cast. Like, I'm all for an all women cast. Do as many as you want. Just like, I guess I just want original ideas.
Good.
Make it good, but make it original ideas.
Yeah.
If it's not part of that storyline, make it an original idea.
What's like a go-to movie for you on a date night? Like you're having a girl over, you're cooking dinner. What are you putting on?
Notting Hill.
I literally called that. That's great.
I mean, I've had so many dates over. Like, where I put that shit on repeat, bro.
It's a great one. I learned the hard way. I watched.
What do you watch? What do you put on?
I got 2. I got Notebook or Wedding Crashers. Funny one.
Wedding Crashers.
Heartfelt. But then the Notebook's like super romantic, and I'm always like, I'm Noah.
Wedding Crashers is a good one. You can't go wrong with Wedding Crashers.
But I learned that the hard way though. I had a girl over, and I was like, "What do you want to watch?" Blah blah blah. She's like, "Whatever you want." I was like, "Cool." Put in There Will Be Blood. Wasn't good for a date.
You can't do whatever.
I've abandoned my child. I'm just sitting there on the couch, and she's just like,
you can't watch There Will Be Blood with a girl.
I learned that the hard way.
Like not until like you're in a relationship, then you can put it on and like.
Because then we're gonna watch stuff I like, stuff that she likes.
Yeah, but like the first day, you gotta do a 50-50.
I learned it the hard way.
Like the first couple dates, whatever y'all in that trying to get to know each other, playing hopscotch, you gotta do a 50-50 movie.
You cannot do There Will Be Blood.
The problem with dating young is if you put on Wedding Crashers, man, they might not have seen it. And I remember this has happened to me, and the girl didn't like it.
They didn't like Wedding Crashers?
Yes, bro.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you. Get out. What?
It almost ruined it for me.
If
Like,
a girl didn't like Wedding
Didn't
Crashers,
like it. I ended up dating this girl still.
red flag,
It was
ignoring red
it was the
flags.
earliest red flag of all time. It was like 2 weeks into us talking. Didn't even like it. It bothered me for months. I couldn't let it go.
I wouldn't let it go.
Yeah, I couldn't let it go.
I don't know if I talked to him again.
Yeah, I remember anytime that movie would come up in conversation or a friend would say how great it was like I would immediately like get triggered. I'd be like, shit, that's
Throw under the bus
I
right
was
there.
I was just shaming her for not liking it.
I would too, though.
Oh man,
It's like not liking the Holy Grail.
it's really like a comedy. It's a holy grail of comedy.
It is. It's gold.
It's gold. It's so good.
We're gonna do a fire round of movie stuff. Okay. Most
Okay.
nostalgic movie for you.
You know, like get a movie when you watch it and like you just like contemplate life and kind of make you like put you in like a Scary Sundays type of mood,
Mm-hmm.
or you're just kind of like sad. Is Never Ending Story.
It's a good one.
You ever seen Never Ending Story?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to be on acid to come up with some
Yeah.
shit like that's the most trippiest. The fucking flying dog,
Yeah, that's wild. The big fur like
when the
polar bear
horse,
thing.
bro. To this day, when the horse dies in the quicksand and Atreyu's like trying to pull the horse out of it, dude, I still can't watch it. Like it
Really?
still fucks with me. I used to have two things growing up. I could not. I would leave the movie theater or stop watching. It was when animals died, and I had the craziest fear. Like when black people died, I couldn't, like, I don't know. It was like, I remember seeing Scream 2. Have you seen Scream 2?
Yeah, the comedies.
No.
What am I?
The horror
thinking
movie
of?
Scream.
What am I thinking of?
Oh, you're thinking of
Pie hand guy.
yeah, you're thinking of Take My Strong Hand.
Yeah.
What is
Scary
that?
movie.
Scary. You think of Scary Movie? No, the OG Scream horror movies.
Yep, with the knife.
Yes. And in Scream 2, the opening scene is in a movie theater. And it's a black couple. I want to say it's Omar Epps. Don't quote me on that. And it's him and his girl, and he goes to the bathroom. And there's like a hole. And it's like someone's like whispering it. And like, he's like, yo, come here. And he's like, come close. And like, dude stabs him through the hole in his ear. And I remember that was the opening scene in Scream 2. Bro, I lost. Bro, I ran out of the movie theater. But I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do
Okay,
it.
so-
what's your nostalgic movie?
Probably Harry Potter. That's like for me when I think back to my childhood. That was like one of the best parts of my childhood. I remember being in the theater. But even more than that, like Harry Potter, like when they go to Hogwarts and he experiences all of the magic for the first time. It was one of the most magical times of my life.
When Harry Potter ended,
I was so sad.
it's so sad because we grew up with it. Because we were kids when they were kids.
It's so nostalgic for me.
So I love Harry Potter
They're
all day.
incredible.
That's a great
They're
choice.
incredible.
That's a great nostalgic movie.
Favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, I got in an Instagram DM battle about this with a girl from church.
Really?
She had Polar Express in her top 5. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no.
Polar Express don't make top 10.
No. Not even top 20.
Can we talk about Home Alone? Can we talk about Love Actually?
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Four Christmases.
The Santa Claus. Elf.
Elf.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
It's a Wonderful Life.
So I haven't seen it in a Wonderful Life.
It's good.
Oh, The Holiday, bro.
Okay, is a holiday a Christmas movie?
Absolutely.
Because that could be number one.
Is Family Stone?
I like Family
I
Stone.
love Family Stone.
is really good
Yo,
too.
if I put on Family Stone with my mom, guaranteed she's crying.
It's a great movie.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, what? Polar Express.
Family
doesn't even
Man.
yeah.
The Family Man.
I watched that recently. I
all these
love that
movies.
movie.
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life. All these movies are boxing out Polar fucking Express. Like, get out of here.
Sorry if you're watching this.
Man.
Your movie you go to when you're homesick.
Let me think about
Forrest Gump.
this. Ooh, that's a good one.
When I'm like home and I'm sick and I don't Forrest Gump, I don't know why. I think it's because I'm sick and it's a little bit sad, but it's also happy.
It's hopeful.
It's
inspiring.
hopeful. It's a hopeful
It's a
movie.
great.
Forrest Gump.
Mine's Hook.
Hook's a great one.
I go back to like childhood nostalgia. I don't tap into anything like too dark or too heavy. We know when you're homesick, you don't want like a feel good.
You want
Hook.
light.
Hook is such a feel good, like,
Love it.
you know. Back to the Future would be a good one.
Oh, Back to the Future is great too. And that's nice too, because when you're sick, you can watch all three. You're like, oh, I'm going to be here all day.
Man,
You watch 1, 2, and 3. What's your movie? If you see it on TV, you have to watch it.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank.
If Shawshank Redemption is on USA channel, which it is, once a week, or Remember the Titans, are there 2 more rewatchable movies than Shawshank or Remember the Titans? Give me a movie right now off the top of your head that's more rewatchable than those 2 movies.
I've seen those 2 movies more than
Pretty much anything.
Yeah. There's one that if it's on, I always watch it, and it's happened like 3 times in the last year. The Departed. Doesn't matter where in the movie it is.
Really?
If The Departed's on TV, I'm finishing it.
Really?
I love The
That's
Departed.
how I feel about The Town.
Yeah. If it's on, I'm finishing
The
it.
Departed is heavy for me. I don't watch it as much as
I love it movie
I
so much.
probably should because it's such a great movie.
But if it's on, it's my Shawshank. It's like I'm finishing
What
it.
is it about our parents when they watch a movie they've seen 1,000 times, they act like they've never seen it before? My mom watches Remember the Titans like once a week, and she cries at the same scene every time.
Oh, me too. Gary Bertier in the hospital. Every time Gary Bertier in the hospital, Superman, and they
How's he do it?
and he's like, you Superman, and every time he goes, I was scared of you because you're different. I realized I was only hating my brother. And I was just like,
You know what story we have to tell about Remember the Titans?
oh my God, yes. This is one of my favorite stories ever because Remember the Titans is so great. Yeah, tell it. This is so good.
So this was like 7, 8 years ago. It was a Clippers home game, and my dad was coaching them at the time. It was me, my youngest brother Spencer, and my sister Callie, and a few friends. We were all in like a big Suburban, and we were going around back to park at Staples Center. It'll always be called Staples Center. And we were going down to players parking. It's like a ramp that you go down, and they have these huge barricades, and you got to pull up to them. The cars to pull up to them before you go down the ramp to the players parking. And, you know, they do the dog walking, they sniff the car for bombs, the whole 9, right? So as this is happening, the car's parked and we're stopped, and the car's off. And we like look out, and I'm like, yo, that's fucking Petey. That's Donald Faison from Remember the Titans. And then we all love that movie.
Running back, y'all.
Yeah,
I love
running back, y'all. Hey, Sunshine.
Football ain't fun no more, is it? Is it? No, football ain't fun no more.
Yo. And as we notice him, the barricades go down, car starts back on, and we're starting to go down the ramp. For whatever reason, he's stopped by security. I think they need to let us go down first before they're going to let him through. And Spencer rolls down the window. My youngest brother rolls down the window. He like pushes my head out the way and like squeezes his out the window. He goes, hold on to that ball, Petey. Yo. And we're like, and the car's like just going down. And Don Faison like looks at him and just starts dying out laughing. And everybody in the car is like roaring in laughter. My youngest brother, Spencer, I love that boy to death. He is so fucking
That's
funny.
just like your subconscious being funny.
I'm like, Spencer, like in my head, I'm like, I was jealous of him. I'm like, what made you think of that?
On the fly, like that's.
You know what? He was like a 12-year-old, just like bold ass kid who didn't give. I mean, yeah, boy, my little brother Spencer.
He was 12.
He was like 12, 13 years old. But Spencer grew up in the locker room with like Kevin Garnett, Tracy McGrady. So Spencer had the most confident, like he did not care who you were. Like
he was just
you couldn't tell him. Like he's hanging out, smoking cigars with Kevin Garnett in 08, you know, in the locker room. Like he just has this confidence and swagger, and he's not fearful of anything.
Because that is such a funny comment, dude.
Dude,
hold
so
on
good.
To that ball,
hold on to that ball, Petey.
That's so good.
Oh, man.
Oh, my, that's great.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in for this episode, talking about movies and film and
things we love.
Things we love.
I mean, I feel like it's going to be a constant thread throughout our podcast. Like we love movies. We love music. It's driven so much of our passions and things we're doing now. And
shaped us.
And we have to share it with you.
Yep.
You know.
So thank you guys for watching. Again, click the link down below for the newsletter with the menu where you can get the full playlist of the week, as well as our 5-star reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.